So I'm here, and I knew that I needed to show up tonight and share what came through today in regards to, just being free and the unconscious stuff that's happening below the surface that you have control over to make a shift and set yourself free. And I also want to share with you guys what this program that I'm doing. It's a one-on-one program where we're going to be working together for 21 days together, getting to your core block, belief, fear, story that is holding you back from living your full life. So I am trying to, I just want to be done here. I don't know. Now I can't see your comments, so I don't know what the hell is going on. All right, so this is what happens. Okay, well, I'm just going to jump in. So, do you want to be free? This is my gig. This is what I do. I've been really surrendering more and more into the fact that how I operate and how I move through the world may be a little bit differently, and really taking a look at how it is we can, and I don't like to put boxes or categories, but in this realm of an artist, in the sense of that it's very eclectic. Art is always just creating itself, right? And I was moving through my space today and just watching my mind take what I see as the energy and everything that is happening in the collective consciousness, and how can I break it down and be the bridge to help each of you individually understand the inner workings. And that's what I feel is really powerful about my work, is when someone is working together, either one-on-one or in a group with me, is that I'm teaching you how to design your own, how to master your own belief system, your consciousness, and really get to that depth of what's going on inside of yourself and learn how to untangle it. So, today I wrote this post, and if you haven't checked it out, do. It is about what I'm about to share tonight in regards to this unfuck your mind hack. And before I get there, let me just see who is here. Hey, friends. There's a lot of you here. Yay. Well, it says a lot of you guys joined, and maybe, I don't know what happened, but then you popped off. But I want to say hi. Hey, Karina. Hey, Neve. Nice to see you. Hey, Gloria. Okay, so freedom. Now, here's the thing, is that those of you that are showing up here, likely in the realm of understanding about consciousness and law of attraction and energy, right? And so, we're understanding, positive mindset and goal, focusing on where we want to go. But the thing is that we don't get there if there's something that's misaligned on the inside. And so a couple of things that I talked about in that post today was in regards to, let me see, where do I start with this? Because it is, I was feeling into this all day today, and I kept seeing how it's like, I talk about some of this stuff like it's tangled fishing line. Have any of you tried to untangle fishing line? It's just impossible. Or a slinky, remember those? And so some of this stuff that's going on in our head, it's kind of a little challenging to untangle. And people may never even see this video because of the things that are tangled won't even allow them to open up to this. So I want to say you guys are awesome for showing up. Thank you for being here. I know you guys want to get your mind unfucked and be free. And so what happens is there's certain levels. And so so while I talk about the buried beliefs and the past patterns and the cycles and the stories, the work where the power of the work of transformation and change happens is keeping moving forward, not digging into the past, what happened, not trying to find out what happened, how it happened. I will tell you, it will naturally come to the surface as you continue to focus and keep your vision on where it is that you want to go and feel. Most importantly, feel. So you want to feel free. You want to feel empowered. You want to feel like you're on purpose or on your mission or contributing to the world, right? And feel at peace and feel joy, right? So keeping your focus there, and what is in the way is naturally going to come to the surface. Because one of the things that could get us tangled up is that we get distracted with looking at what's wrong, right? So we get distracted about what's wrong, and it takes us off our path from where we're really meant to be going. So I would say one of my biggest gifts is the mind hack, and then going in and taking the energy and transforming the energy that has been held inside running that mind hack program. And so now some of the things that keep us from moving forward. So now keep in mind, the vision is moving forward. We take actions to move forward. We do what it is that we want to do to align with that next best version of ourselves, right? And so as we're doing that, we start to discover that, we're actually afraid of success. We're afraid of what other people think. We're afraid we'll be judged. We're afraid that we'll actually grow beyond our inner circle or the people that we're close with. And so those are some of the subtle ways that we hold ourselves back. But the mind hack that came through today was about pain. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Now, think about this, is that are you afraid of the pain? Are you afraid of going beyond the pain? Because what I see happening with those that are change makers and healers and leaders in the world is that we actually begin to take, pain can become a distraction, right? And so as we're moving forward to bring our message out to the world, you're moving forward to be the fullest expression of who you are. You're moving forward to do your art, right? And speak and share your voice, and that can feel vulnerable. And so what we do is, I feel like I lost track here for a second. I lost the stream of consciousness. Hold on, let me see what you guys are saying. Joan says she stopped knitting to check my phone. Yay, I'm glad that you're here. Peggy, freedom has been the key word that has kept coming the past week. Oh, good. So this might be juicy for you. Fuck the pain, Alicia says. Great energy. Thanks, Scott. For something happened, all of a sudden I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so I was talking about, so thank you for showing up. Thanks for your comments. Fuck the pain. Freedom. Okay, see, I just tapped in and I started to hear all of the streamlines of consciousness that keep us limited. Freedom comes with a cost. Freedom is hard, and then what happens is we have this coming in on subliminal messages in our mind. And so then as we start to move forward to do that thing, whatever the frick it is that we want to do and be and express and experience, these subliminal messages start coming in. Now, the thing is that we've been subliminally, I was sharing in one of my videos last week, is that I had actually taken on a belief that making a mistake was a bad thing. And so so in my own personal experiences, I'm moving forward more in my life and asking for more and aligning with the greater version of what I'm ready for and ready to experience. What is holding that back starts to float to the surface. And one of the things is about making a mistake. And that got passed down to me. That was something that I learned and as I was growing up. So these things, we start to take on these beliefs about life being hard, make a mistake, money doesn't grow on trees, there's other people suffering in the world. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Right. And so we start to take on that stuff and we kind of just tuck it in, and then we learn how to manage through life. But then as we're starting to grow and go beyond our comfort zone, which is actually, just start to take a look, let me just give you one little pin drop right here of how comfortable is your pain? How comfortable are you in your pain spot? Because like I was saying earlier, we can get really kind of looped into and wrapped into that painful space. And it could be a distraction from where you're really meant to be going. And so what I'm sharing about tonight is that the golden ticket is beyond the pain, but it's that pain that is kind of like the barrier or this subliminal message or this program that says you're getting too close to pain. If you go past this point, all of these things can happen. Let me see, you guys are saying, leaning into the pain tonight, fuck the fear. Lean in. Lean in. Like, that's the thing, is that, oh, I'm so glad you said that, Peggy. I have goosebumps everywhere. It's like the thing is this pain that we keep ourselves from experiencing and feeling, one, is that it's perceived. We've just made it up. We just think that if we're more successful or more healthy or more abundant or in better relationships, that the people around us will abandon us or not like us anymore, or will be judged. So we have that, and so that keeps us from moving forward. And the thing that's behind that are these feelings or fears of that we're afraid we're going to feel shame or guilt. You know, so it's like we hold ourselves back, so that pain is like, don't go too far, because you know, all of these other people, you know, that you might be abandoned, you might be judged, people might leave you, it might be too much responsibility for you to be like successful in your fucking awesome self. And so we hold ourselves back because of that pain. We feel like we might feel shame, we might feel guilt. Here is the unfuck your mind. Are you ready? We are actually in control. We are actually putting all of the pain in a bucket and holding on to it. Meaning, in a sense, if we hold up this barrier of perceived pain, of some of the stuff that we've been subliminally subjected to and implanted and programmed with, and the stories that we have in our own mind of what's going to happen on the other side, right? And so what we do is we like gather it all together and we hold this like bucket of pain, and now we have control over it. So good, I've got control over this. I'm not going to go too far because of all of these other reasons, but I'm in control of the pain. Like if I go too far, okay, I'll get burnt, so I'll back up a little bit. And then I'll take a few steps and I'll back up. That's where I talk about with like patterns, is like self-sabotage. You move forward and you come back, you move forward and come back. It's almost like this pain, as you get too close to something, it's like it pushes you back. Now, the reason we do that is because we're so afraid of all of the other ways that the pain will come in if we lose control of it. If we just let go of the perceived stories, the perception of what could happen if we're our most awesome fucking selves, if we're healthy, if we're wealthy, if we're fit, if we're free, if we're doing our life's passion, if we're, you know, we're making money in ways of just being our awesome natural selves. We have this perception or this inner thing that keeps us blocked, is that if we hold our own pain, we can control it. If we let go of it, we're actually open up to so much more of everybody's pain. But again, it's not true. First of all, if you start to move forward and you start to be judged, or people in your life start to abandon you because you're moving forward, they're not meant to be in your life anyway. That's part one. Part two is that maybe your role in your dynamic and circle that you're in is to be your most awesome self, because it's going to show others how to do that for themselves too. And it's also going to show others how to treat you. All right, so what's landing here? Let me see what you guys are saying. Leaning into the fear. Fear is the sauce on the steak of life. It is almost like you're more vulnerable without the pain, right? Like pain keeps you in a safe spot. Yes, Joan. I'm so glad you're here. That's exactly it. So it's like you have the pain. It keeps you in the safe spot. It keeps this wall up. The thing is, you're still in freaking pain. You're still in pain because you're limiting yourself. You're trying to contain yourself in a box. You're not being your full expression. You're not sharing your voice. You're not doing your life's work. You're not doing what you love. You're not being more fit. You're not making more money because you're afraid of all the other stories that are going to come in. So if you can control it, then you're safe. But if you let go, which is the fucking key, is to let go of all of this stuff because you're the one limiting yourself. If you let go, then you're free. And chances are all of the perceived stories won't even happen. And if they do, people are meant to grow out of your life. People are judging you. They're not meant to be in your circle. If people are feeling bad about themselves because you are, more awesome, you're more aligned with, your awesomeness, and you're feeling joy and you're in the flow and synchronicities happening and life feels really magical, perhaps that you being awesome is the exact trigger they need to trigger themselves into living their awesome lives. So what I'm seeing is that, there's a lot of people that are holding themselves back subliminally and subconsciously. And, we're in this energy and time and space where us holding on to those limitations are getting more and more uncomfortable. And so it's like kind of like now or never, it's either like suffer or fly, like be free or be stuck. That's not what I was really going to say. So here's the thing. The key is, okay, so what I was talking about when I first jumped on this was talking about like law of attraction. And yeah, you can have vision boards and you can, create, an imagination of what you want. But if there's these underlying things, this protection of pain, you're always going to either keep self-sabotaging yourself or getting to that limit. So it's like getting to that core of what that pattern is, core of what that pain is, core of what that belief is, and setting it free and setting free the energy that's been holding that in place in all this time, and aligning yourself with the paradigm, with the reality, with the vibration of where it is that you want to go and feel already exists. So the crux of this unfuck your mind hack is that I drew a little thing. Maybe I could draw it again. I'm going to draw it again for the visuals, because if you guys can see my notes, because I do take notes, because what happens is I start to tap into the energy and I'm tapping into who's showing up and who's watching this and who's meant to hear this message. And then sometimes it's like, what are the words that came out of my mouth? Did I cover all the points? So it gets a little funky. Can you guys see? There's some lines all over the place, but here's what I want to show you for hopefully this will show up. So what we do is we contain our pain, but it becomes this protection and this limit and this distraction, because we're afraid that we won't ever be able to control the pain that comes from others. Can you see? So we box it in, and because we're afraid of what's going to come from others. But I'll tell you right now, a lot of this is perceived, it's made up. And when you do the inner work to get in, do the inner work, on the trajectory of living your best life and your happiest life and healthy, whether you want more money, whether you want a relationship, whether you want to start a business, whether you just want to be more, more happy, the trajectory goes in that direction, and whatever's in the way will naturally come to the surface. And just, so take a look, like how comfortable have I become in my own freaking pain? Let's see, UFO, Joan, but it's so familiar. Okay, wait, I gotta back up here. Hold on. Oh, you're so awesome, Karina. Thank you. All of it is landing. Amazing. Good, Chris. I'm glad you made it on a roll. I am on a roll. Yes. I'm on a purple shirt fire. I know usually I wear, it's like, that's my uniform when I'm on fire. Right. So the pain is so familiar, and that's what keeps us there. And I've spoken about this before, is that, so we're in this like bubble of pain. We've got our protection. And then where we're going, we don't always know. Like, we don't know the answer. And that, here's the thing, is we want to control everything. So if we can control something, we're going to control our pain. And then in some part of our mind, we think, well, if we control our pain, we also keep away other pain that might come our way. And if you get real with yourself, that it doesn't work. You're only keeping yourself back. Only keeping yourself back. And so these stories that have been subliminally implanted, the stuff that we learned through growing up and the dynamics that we did, the stuff that we hear from society, you know, that one thing that's coming through right now is I'm just seeing, like, there's this, I'm going to do a whole other video about this, but there's like this belief of like, oh, I've got criticism, so like now I must have made it. And it's like, you don't need criticism to make it. Don't let that be your determining factor of success. Like, because what you think and what you focus on and what you believe, you're going to attract. And that's another thing about the law of attraction and stuff, is that these beliefs have become this comfort zone. These patterns, these programs, this pain has become a comfort zone. Where we're going, we don't necessarily know. And some of the things is, you know, some of the fears that come up as I'm working with people moving forward is about, oh my God, what is the responsibility I'm going to have beyond this? Because like, pain keeps us small. Pain, you know, we know how to manage it. But I'm telling you right now, where we're going, you're not going to be able to manage it anymore. So it's so key to understand how to do the stuff on the inside and understand your belief systems and move through the energy and really learn how to grasp onto and maintain that elevated energy vibration. Because what happens is that we do, like, you might expand, you might grow, you may get to that level, but how many of you drop down? How many of you have noticed a cycle or a pattern of like success and then dropping yourself back down? It's because there's something on the underneath, a deeper belief system that is subconsciously running and keeping you safe, but it's also keeping you from holding you back. So hello friends for showing up. Karina says, I feel like the breaking point becomes the breakthrough. It does. It does. And the visual I just got for that was like, but what sometimes we do is we stay at the bottom of the ocean and we hang onto the anchor and we're drowning. What if we let go? I will tell you right now, oh, I've got goosebumps, that letting go is, it's not as scary as your mind will tell you. Your mind tells you that it's scary because as you're growing and expanding, the pieces and the smallness, all of those aspects that I talk about, the parts that hold the program of smallness and, you know, not worthy, or, you know, that those parts that keep you from attracting that relationship. As you start to expand and grow and elevate and move beyond the belief systems, those parts dissolve. And so those are the parts that actually start to kick up before you're growing through the growth spurt. And knowing how to maneuver and manage through, and how do you, you know, like recognize and resolve, because that's, you know, you can't just bypass this stuff that comes up because it serves such a great purpose for us, probably for many years. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Jennifer, you're here. Just hopped on, but exactly the message that you need to hear. You're welcome. I love divine timing. Yes, Joan says it's like you're protecting yourself from a smoke screen. Yeah. It's like we're protecting ourselves from an illusion. Because really, when I was present with that fear of making a mistake, so for so long, so I didn't even know what it was there. I mean, this is recent. I was like afraid of making mistakes. I came to this understanding. And when I got present with this fear, it actually dissolved. And I actually got excited about messing up and making mistakes, because what's the worst that can happen? Like nothing, right? But that belief got like programmed in all of my cells. And doing the inner work allowed it to come to the surface. Anne says this is all landing. Thank you. You're welcome. Irma says, go with the flow. Trust the process. Yes. Trust the process. And don't get lost in the process either, or distracted by the process, or get distracted by the pain, or get distracted by the story. Amy says, just what I needed tonight. This weekend was wild. Emotions all over the place. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so, thank you for saying that this is landing, because I will tell you right now, it's a confirmation of, I can just feel this coming through me, and there was nothing that was going to just like allow me to go to sleep tonight without expressing this energy that has been wanting to come through. So I'd love to hear what you guys are taking away from this. Like, what is the takeaway? What is the aha? Like, what is the, or even what is the next step for you to go beyond this like barrier of pain? This, I'm going to come up with the protection pain pillow. Let's see. Yes, relapses, Karina says. Yep, we relapse. And here's the thing. When you're recognizing this stuff happening inside of yourself, don't beat yourself up. The fact that you're recognizing it is gold, and then you get a choice, right? Then you get to decide differently. Yeah, then you get to decide differently. And then it becomes a choice. When we become aware and then we continue to do it, it does become a choice. And then, oh, this is the other thing. This is where the pain, where the pain stops us, is that it's like we almost feel like the commitment to so when it becomes a choice, it's almost like the commitment to the pain is stronger and greater than moving beyond to where you really want to be. So take a look. So I hope you're grasping them. And actually I want to hear from you guys. Like, what are you grasping? What are you taking away? What is your aha moment from tonight? I spoke about, your pain being a comfortable space. The feeling like we can at least be in control of our pain if we hang on to it, but it's actually the thing that's keeping us from moving forward. So if we just let it go, but then that's when the stories come in of like, oh my God, pain can come from everywhere now. I don't know what others are going to feel. And then I'm sharing with you is that pain is likely perceived or false or a distraction from keeping you from moving forward. And in the work that I do is that I teach you how to recognize what is your experience is showing you and how to dissolve it from within. When we connect, I'll be channeling information from my guides and from your guides, and also showing the path and giving you guidance of, okay, so here you are here, you want to get over here, this is what's happening over here, what is the path? And it's divinely downloaded and shared with you. We cannot hold back our limitations anymore. We can't be playing small. We can't hold on to these stories anymore. It's going to get harder and harder and harder. And so as you understand how to understand what's going on with you, tap into the energy, create the alchemy, create the shifts in the energy, because what's going on inside of you is creating your experience. And the challenge where I see people stuck is that you're trying to change the outside in order to change the inside, and it's actually the other way around. And that's what I'm here for, to help you remember how fucking magical you are and how fucking powerful you are. And like use my brain and my mind and the way that I can see energy and like I want to help you get unstuck. So to understand what that pain point is. So I'm sharing you high level, like this is like the high level what happens, but on an individual basis to understand what that pain point is, and then to be able to let it go. I'll tell you, like once I realized my pain point was about making mistakes, to shift to the point of like, oh, well, you know, like it's actually kind of exciting. Like what kind of a mistake can I make? And this freedom that came through me, this liberation, this empowerment, that I no longer need to carry something else that's not mine. Got it, and I know what's up, and it is time. It is time. You know, we feel like we play, you know, small, we play these roles to, you know, not have other people feel bad about themselves. You know, we do it subconsciously. And the truth is that like you may be the role model that they need in order to see how awesomeness, happiness, bliss, and free is done. But it is the aspects that are holding in these programs, that are holding in the limitation, holding in place the smallness, that say don't listen, don't get slow, you know, don't journal, don't do the inner work, actually go do laundry, go sweep the floor, you know, go do, don't be. Because what happens is when we start to listen, we start to dissolve these things that don't serve us. And these things that we're dissolving feel like they have a job, so they hold on super hard, and then they distract us like shiny objects. It's shiny objects. So slow down and tune in. And that's, you know, the fear can be there, but we're just not going to let it drive our car or make our decisions, or, you know, have us, you know, have it slow us down or stop us anymore. It can still exist. We're just not going to give it any more power. Alexa says, I feel that expressing myself authentically is the most important thing. The risk cannot hold me back anymore. And it doesn't matter where or when or how I'm expressing myself, as long as I'm honoring that authentic voice. Exactly. Yeah. So, and here's the thing, and that's what I said at the beginning. I'm not exactly sure when you came in, but the risks are usually stuff that has been projected onto us from someone else. And it's not even our risks. So it's like other people's pain, other people's stories, other people's limitations that we say, oh, these risks. And I would really support you in being still and present with what those risks are, and seeing if you can dissolve them on your own. Some of them are like rooted in, like, I don't even know a good analogy, but like really rooted in, and sometimes it's hard to see on our own. I mean, that's why I have a mentor. That's why I have someone that I, you know, work with to help me see what I can't see for myself. Is that because these parts of us have become these operating mechanisms to keep us safe, perceived safety. But where we're at right now, I feel like I'm losing my voice. Where we're at right now is that we are meant to be living our most authentic selves. And the way that we're slowing ourselves down and limiting ourselves is just going to become too painful, and we're just not going to be able to avoid it anymore. You know, it's when we are not living our authentic lives, it shows up in all different ways. You know, I know that, you know, sometimes, you know, I was talking to a friend that I had known some years ago when my work was solely focused on love coaching and relationships. I was helping people clear the inner blocks and the belief systems that they had around creating romantic partnerships. And it was really fun, awesome work. And what I saw happening is that not only did their love and self-love and relationships shift, but their money shifted, their home shifted, their career shifted, their health shifted. They lost weight, they made more money, they left jobs they didn't like, they opened up their own businesses, they met their soulmate, they bought a house. So it's when we get to the core of the operating system on the inside and release ourselves from the stuff that's not working, we're liberated and free. And I'm going to tell you, if you guys take anything away from tonight, is that the pain is not as scary as your mind will tell you. Yeah, you're going to go in and maybe you're going to have some tears and there's going to be energy running through and some emotions that you not normally used to feeling are going to show up. But then they're going to be gone, because right now what's happening? You're carrying them around. You're carrying around with this like little painful pillow pocket thing. So when you lean into them, when you are with them, when you are present with them, they dissolve. So understand that by holding on to your pain in a way that you know that you feel like you can control it, and you're afraid to let it go because you're of what the other pain that might come in from other people or life, it's all a story. It's all a story and a distraction keeping you small. And that by letting go, you're actually freeing yourself. You're empowering yourself. You are liberating yourself. And anything that comes your way or anything that happens from that, if you're living your authentic self, if you're on your path, everything that happens is exactly what's meant to happen. It's our human, it's our ego, it's our smallness, it's those aspects of ourselves that freak out about what happens around us. Because I can guarantee while holding on to this pain, chaos and drama and stuff is still happening. So let go of the pain. The pain pillow that you're holding on to, open yourself up to what could be possible beyond the fear of pain. Because the fear of pain isn't as scary as what your mind will tell you. You know, the image that I just got right now is just like dropping in and jumping onto the roller coaster and allowing yourself to surrender to the ride, because resistance is the thing that's going to be the most painful. So if you want some support, if you're ready to kick ass, if you're ready to unfuck your mind, if you're ready to unleash who you are, let's do some work together. So thanks for tuning in. You guys are amazing. I love your energy. I want the best for all of you. And if this was helpful, please do share. And we'll see you soon.